Welcome to New Age Nerd Culture. Amo and Andy here, and today we're talking about how to get into comic books. A difficult task in this day and age, Andy, as comic books are now the complete mainstream, or superheroes are now the mainstream. How to get into the more nitty-gritty aspects without being overwhelmed. So you yourself, you ventured into a comic book store for the first time. How did you find that experience?
Well, daunting, because you walk in and you've got walls upon walls of different comics. You got different genres, you got different makes, you got anime, you got, what's that word about? Then you walk in, you got DC, you got Marvel. The best thing to do is, well, come here, watch us, and we'll tell you where to start.
So we've come up with like a step-by-step guide if you want to get into comics in this day and age. Because like I said with Andy, you go into a comic book store now and it's just, the walls are washed with just hundreds if not thousands of comics. And it's a very daunting task, like where do you even start? So we've come up with a few different ideas. One of them being, not going to insult people, but the films.
Yeah.
So the films in this day and age, even before like in the Joel Schumacher days of Batman, the really, really old superhero
the old
films.
campy ones, I mean, they were still as much fun. They were fun.
Yeah,
you had fun with them. Some of them, I mean, you look at the Batman Robin with Arnie, that's got full of very quotable...
Terrible film, but the most quotable superhero film of all time, I think.
Oh, yeah. Didn't say it was good, just said it was quotable.
But that's the first step. If you haven't already, get into the films, be it DC or Marvel. Oh, yeah. Marvel, I think, probably are edging DC by quite a strong margin.
They are making DC look foolish at the moment, but I'm pretty sure they'll catch up.
And the reason you got to watch the films first is you've got to discover which characters you want to truly invest your time in with the comic books. So that's why I say the films are a good starting point to go for.
Yeah, definitely.
Secondly, you can cover this one, Andy, Netflix shows.
Netflix shows. Now, Marvel are absolutely killing it with the Netflix shows. You look at Daredevil, you look at the with the introduction of Punisher in Daredevil season 2. Recently, Luke Cage. You've got Jessica Jones. You've got Iron Fist coming out. You've got the Defenders coming out next year. It's only an 8-part, but it's going to be amazing. So they're absolutely killing it right now. DC, not so much in the Netflix realm, but TV realm.
So I think films at the moment, because obviously Marvel are killing it with the MCU and the Netflix stuff, so I think if you want to get into Marvel comics or know like where to start with that, Marvel films and the Netflix shows. So you've got Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist coming out, and Daredevil. Definitely start with those. And I think you'll see with this in my point later on, but it's good to have like a good, like with the Avengers, for example. It's nice to start off with the ensemble cast. You've got all the characters all together there, and then if you like, say, Iron Man or Thor, you can then delve deeper into those sort of subject matters later down the line.
Yeah, you can even just say with the Avengers, you can go back and watch their origins.
Yeah.
Then you watch that. I mean, I think you can pick up Avengers and just watch and go from there because it's such a good film. So Joss Whedon made
it's very approachable.
Very easy to watch. Easy to watch. I think you don't necessarily have to be a comic book fan to even watch that film.
DC, on the other hand, I think with films at least, I don't think, like say if I watch BVS, I couldn't give a damn about either Batman or Superman in that film. But that's just my personal opinion. Everyone's gonna like destroy us in the comments for that. But it's a shocking film. So TV show though, with the CW and all the DC universe on there, the Belantiverse. Flash is just the best way to get into the superhero genre for sure. The perfect balance of soap opera and superhero.
Yeah, I mean, because you've got Arrow, which is pretty much a roller coaster right now. Whereas one season good, next season bad.
Season 1 and 2 were great.
Great, yeah.
3, and then 4 is just
so far in 5, it's not back to its best. It tried, but I don't know. You get that smell. It's going to go back to season 4 again.
Yeah,
you got that smell on it.
Yeah, the stank, the superhero stank. But Arrow was great for the start. Flash is still great. I think Legends of Tomorrow is the best out of the bunch. You disagree with me on this?
I disagree with you a little bit.
It's like Doctor Who meets superheroes, like just having that sort of time travel element in each different one. Episode keeps it fresh and keeps it refreshing, and having that ensemble of they're quite obscure, relatively obscure characters. It's good to have a break from because everyone knows who Batman v Superman is, or Batman or Superman or Spider-Man or whatever. Yeah, it's nice to have a look at some different characters.
What I do love about Legends, it's good. It's a good program, but the problem is for me with it, you got genre-specific stuff.
Yeah,
I think it takes a little while for a TV show to get in to the rhythm. So they're doing like what was one of the recent ones? They were in the Civil War. Whereas I think it'd take a few episodes before you really start nailing down to making it look good. Whereas it kind of just feels like you picked up one day in a costume shop. Yeah, that's the only problem with it for me. No, but other than that, it's still brilliant to watch. It's still really entertaining. But then it just kind of looks like it needed a little extra time, an episode or two in certain areas. I think that might make it better actually. Yeah. If they did it rather than they do one shot, it's like villain of the week. Yeah. But I mean, we've got overall arc obviously with everything that's going on in it. But if they did.
And the interconnected universe. I mean, DC's universe isn't connected to the films, but their own universes are, I'd say, probably more interconnected than Marvel's Netflix at the moment, before Defenders kicks off.
Oh, yeah.
Without being spoilerish, certain storylines in this universe that's leading up to the massive sort of CW crossover with all 4 shows meeting.
Yes.
So you're seeing different threads in different series.
With Netflix, it's more nods and just the nurse, Rosanna Dawson, just literally are popping up in all of it. And it doesn't rely on anything else, doesn't rely on the movies.
Just think, having Diamondback say his suit was from Hammer Tech just made that show. Made that episode for me. Like, I know this from Iron Man 2, that film that no one liked, but I thought was okay. And then,
what's really good about it all, I mean, it's good and different. It depends on how you look at it. But if you read a certain comic, doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to translate it very well to screen.
Totally.
So you look at the original Blade. In the comic books, he was nowhere near what Wesley Snipes' Blade was.
Yeah.
Which is another thing, so you got to sort of look at it in that way.
Yeah.
So I mean, the only thing you might don't get put off if you start reading a comic and you go, well, this is nothing like the movies or the TVs. Just sort of go with it. I mean, with myself, I don't like the Punisher, where he's too all one man suit thing. I don't really like that.
Man in the Van.
Man in the Van. I like the more realistic drawings and stuff. That's where my kick gets. That's what I really like looking at. Then I love Deadpool, so it's a bit of a mixture.
So a bit like Marvel Focus would say films and Netflix shows for sure, and DC, the TV shows are, I'd say, quite level. It's a level playing field like that. The big point that I think DC has over Marvel is the animated material. Yeah. DC Animated Universe wipes the floor with any Marvel project, be it the new Avengers cartoon or the any of the random Iron Man or Thor animated films and Hulk animated films.
I haven't really watched any of them. I tried to watch. I can't remember which one. No, I watched Planet Hulk.
Yeah,
it was okay. It's okay.
It's okay. People rave about the storyline. It's a good story, but the execution was awful compared to the DC Animated Universe. I've listed a few of my favourites here. Batman Under the Red Hood is the best DC animated project I think ever. It really delves into the psychology of Batman. So what I think the animated films do that the feature films don't, they really delve into the minutiae of these characters, and Batman Under the Red Hood is a perfect example of that. But you got Justice League Crisis, Justice League Doom, Superman vs. the Elite. This is a big point for me. I think Superman is the most boring hero in the history of mankind. He's too overpowered. Yeah. He's a generally boring character. Yeah. Farm boy, not interested. This film made me interested in Superman. It was very strange. Please watch it if you haven't. But then Dark Knight Returns, Flashpoint Paradox, which is I think the second best DC animated project. Have you seen that?
Yeah. I haven't seen that one yet. I've got a list this long of DC animated movies I need to watch.
And admittedly, the recent Killing Joke was divisive.
I've heard the reviews.
The first half was just outdated from every single standpoint known to man. But the actual Killing Joke bit of it, the comic to feature film. Their translation. That was really good. So. But that's the only blip. It's been an entire, I think, maybe decade or two of brilliant animated material. So that's, if you want to get into some if you like a character in the films, want to go into find out a bit more of them before delving into comics, that's where you should start for sure. So I'd say animated shows for DC, definitely. Animated films, for DC, definitely go with that. And finally, the fifth one is if you want to get straight into the comics themselves.
Oh, yes.
So I'd say you can. There's loads of material out there saying, citing the classics you should go for in terms of DC and Marvel. But when I sort of fell out of comics for a little bit, there's two things that's what got me back into both universes. DC was Injustice Gods Among Us. If anyone played the game, Injustice Gods
Among Us? Yes, I have, yes.
You played the game, but there was a comic book released alongside it. And it's every single character known in the DC universe gets used in there at some point. So if you want to know about everyone really quickly or just get into something, this is the perfect place to start, and it was 79p per issue. I think it is still, and you can buy the sets now of year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. It's just very, very digestible superhero stuff. It's a really easy storyline to follow, so I'd highly recommend Injustice: Gods Among Us.
Well, that's what you want. I mean, that's what we're saying here. Is it's take the time, look through, see what tickles your fancy in them senses. Like you watch a movie, you're watching the Netflix, you watch anything. Or you're playing the games and you go, I like that character. Go in there, pick up a copy of anything that their backstory on them. Just look up, find out if there's an origin or any latest episodes or something you want to read. Maybe pick up one or two of just the bi-weeklies that get released, and just have a look, have a read through there. Then go from there. Maybe pick up a volume or two, and then literally just progress from there. I mean, you'll find that you'll stop buying week by week as much because, storage. Let's face it. I mean, I've got a couple of storages that are now overflowing with stuff, and I've only been collecting 6 months maybe.
Yeah, if that.
And literally, I mean, even the other day, I mean, I've just started on the new five, or not the new five, but I'm going back to the old Serenity books from after they finished, because I watched the TV program again and the movie, and I went, I need more. So I knew that they'd done a comic. I went and found it. I'm only just through the first part now. It's amazing. It's really good, and it doesn't, what I would say, tickle and scratch that itch that you miss from watching Firefly or anything like that. But
that's a good point. Nostalgic comics. If you've got like an old TV show that's like got a comic spin-off, that's a good way to go as well. I think remember when Dogma came out, the Kevin Smith film, which is right over there. But he brought up a Dogma comic alongside it, and that's just brilliant. So if you want more content that's like of the characters that you love that are dead on TV or film,
I think that's the thing you got to remember, is that literally they don't just do Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, Iron Man comics. They do loads of comics. I mean, so
we said Injustice for DC. Let's go to Marvel quickly. The comic that got me back into Marvel side of things was Old Man Logan. Now, I've just lent it to you last week. Or
my only problem with Old Man Logan is it isn't more Old Man Logan. That I could have done with that thing being twice as long, or it being a complete. I would love to see Logan going through that world.
Yeah,
I want to see him going. Well, I suppose that's part of what's good about that story, that everything is just beyond help. But you'd want to see him go there and maybe kick up fuss again. So
that going to spoilers, like both Injustice and Marvel, sort of they put you with the mentality and the mindset of like, you want to find out more about these characters because of how interesting these storylines are. So I think those are our tips, I think, overall. Yeah. So we've got films, Netflix shows, animated movies, comics. You've said the Marvel DC split of where to go and where, so yeah.
Well, just I think let that road take you where it goes. I mean, don't you can. So you got some people that are only DC, only Marvel. Try both.
Yeah.
Why narrow your view just down to one particular thing? Let them all go in, and then if you naturally progress with one way, then go that way. But you might as well give it all a try, because there are some brilliant comics out there to read. So that is how we think you should get into comic books. Like, share and subscribe. Emails here about any topic that you want us to talk about. And from Andy and Amo, keep on flying.